Hello there.
So, now, I know you're a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise.
I am. I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise.
I have also heard that you're a fan of medieval British history and Nordic ancient culture.
Who told you?
Now, has anyone told you that there's a new Assassin's Creed game set in the Viking era?
I hope you're going to tell me about it now.
There's one coming. So, Ubisoft had announced that their latest adventure in the world of Assassin's Creed will be set between Norway and the UK and will be based around Vikings. Now, they did release a cinematic trailer and they have now released a gameplay trailer. Have you seen these?
I have seen both of them, yes.
Okay, so talk me through. Let's go back to the cinematic one. So the build up for this was a designer creating art on a live stream for several hours, which revealed that it was going to be Viking space. And then we were treated to the cinematic trailer. Now, was that a treat for you?
I loved that. I absolutely loved the art because it went on for so long. And at first, because I remember messaging you because I could just see like a lady and a monkey or an ape. And I was thinking, this isn't, as far as I know, Vikings haven't had that much to do with apes. Perhaps there is a big blank in my Viking knowledge here. But when it was completed and we saw it coming together, I thought that was a really cool way of doing it because it shows you as well how long these images take to make. And I was really interested watching. Yeah,
I've definitely got a better appreciation for like the Photoshop art form.
Absolutely, and it just shows you how long it takes and how much effort goes into something like this. And for Ubisoft to recognize that and announce it in this way, almost, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, big thumbs up. Also, I wonder if this will even be the box art because it was such an integral part of the build up, the hype for it, and the way that he did the Assassin's Creed symbol with the axes right at the very end. Love the Assassin's Creed logo this time. Really clean. You totally know what it's all about.
I love that as well. The two axes that come together to make because they always do it. They play around with the whatever period of history they're in. But I especially liked this one. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah. So that came out, and then that was then teased that the cinematic trailer was coming a week later. So how did that make you feel?
I enjoyed the cinematic trailer. I wasn't a huge fan of the music that went with it.
Oh, the music was awful.
But I think it's going to be one of those things where people might have really loved it. I personally didn't. I thought it was going to be a little bit more because the Vikings were known as being these sort of vicious raiders. I thought it was going to be a bit more bassy, a little bit darker than it was.
Yeah, it sounded like, hey mum, can we listen to Billie Eilish? No, we've got Billie Eilish at home.
If Billie Eilish did Assassin's Creed trailers.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know what you mean. I think for that period of history it was called the Dark Ages. It was bad times for a lot of people, so I thought it was going to be a little bit darker. But music aside, I really like the trailer. I think the more I see of this game, the more excited I am for it. When they initially when it leaked and they said it was going to be called Assassin's Creed Ragnarok based on the Vikings as well, I wasn't that excited for it because I thought, well, how are they going to do the parkour? How are they going to do, make you an assassin if you're a big, strong Viking chap or lady raiding places? I wasn't sure how they were going to do it, but then when I saw it, it changed my mind and I am quite hyped for it now. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, as the games have got bigger, I feel like they have moved away from the city concept. I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there's huge amounts of kind of flat land, but it's still enjoyable. And, it's in some of the synchronization points that you go up to, it's like a 2-story building, whereas you perhaps in previous games expected to go some crazy high up place and you'd be able to know, a specially built tower in the original game.
I actually
rather than
think
a 2-story building.
Yeah, I think Odyssey was too big almost.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have said that this game is not going to be the biggest or longest.
Yeah, they said it's going to be shorter and smaller, which I think is a good thing because if you go back to the original Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2, they were focused more on the assassinations and it was like a more focused story. I think that we've come away from that now as we've gone more RPG, but I think especially in Odyssey, I miss the hidden blade quite a lot and I felt like I was running around a lot when I probably didn't need to. I mean, it was still incredible to run and see it because it is a gorgeous game. Every
Absolutely.
bit of that game is gorgeous, but I feel like a lot of it didn't need to be there. It could have saved them probably some time, and it would have saved me a lot of time running place to place. So I'm glad that they've said that it's going to be a little bit smaller.
And then we had the announcement that they were going to bring out a gameplay trailer. So have you been able to catch up with that?
I have seen a trailer, yes.
So the gameplay trailer, about it shows you
Yeah,
gameplay. We all know where this is going.
yeah, we know where this is going. So I thought in my head there was going to be a bit of the parkour, maybe a bit of the ship battle, or a bit of a big brawl, a big fight, big sprawling fight with a couple of people involved. We didn't really get any of that. What we got was a more cinematic trailer, to be honest. I think it was
Hmm.
what they've probably done is they've played the game, but they've edited it and moved the camera about to make it more cinematic. So it probably is gameplay. It just doesn't look like the gameplay that we will see when we actually play it.
I mean, if the gameplay is like that with the camera angles jumping about and really zoomed in on my face, I'm not going to enjoy the game. So yeah, I mean, I think people would be less mad if Ubisoft didn't call it a gameplay trailer, or if they just called it, an additional teaser or something. I think it would
Yes.
have been
Yeah, I completely
better.
agree. I think they're probably unintentionally, but I think they've probably sort of hyped this and not shown what they said. So the creative director of Assassin's Creed tweeted just after the trailer came out, and obviously there was a bit of backlash because there was
Hmm.
very little actual gameplay seen. And he said, "Hello all, you rightfully expected to see more today. We have a long marketing campaign ahead of us. You will see in-depth gameplay and get a lot more info about the game. Thank you for your excitement and passion. Be patient with us and be kind. It will be worth it." So that's basically Ubisoft coming out and acknowledging that they probably made a bit of a boo-boo there in advertising it as a gameplay trailer.
So he says that it would be worth it. What kind of things, when the game finally does come out in holiday 2020, what kind of things would make it worth it for you?
I am all for the customizable beards and hairstyles. I've always love a game when it lets you choose what you look like and what you wear and your hair and stuff. So I'm really excited for that. I want. They've said that it's going to be based a lot on a community. I'm kind of thinking Red Dead 2 camp situation, and they've said that our settlement is going to be a big chunk of that. And I quite like the sound of it because what has come out is people have said that you've got decisions to make, tough decisions that are going to impact your settlement. And you know me, I love a choice based game. So
Hmm.
if my choices do impact my settlement, I like that because it makes me feel that as the leader of this settlement, my actions really do have consequences. So I have to think about what I'm doing. So that's a big thumbs up for me.
How about in terms of combat? So we've talked a bit about Hidden Blade. We've seen from the trailers that's coming back.
Yes.
Um, we've kind of seen like axe throwing and that's in there. Any kind of naval battle type things we've seen. Oh, that's one thing that probably did come from the most recent trailer was we're definitely getting a raven rather than an eagle, which I'm down for. I love a corvid, which I'm down for. I love a corvid.
Love a corvid. It makes sense as well from the Norse mythology to have a raven. So
Mm.
I'm big for that. What I wanted, again based on Odyssey, and I really loved Odyssey. This isn't me pooping all over it, but I think there was too much loot, too much armor.
Hmm.
So I pick up an armor and I would like the look of it, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. And then 2 minutes later, I would pick something else up that had much better stats but was really ugly, and it just carried on like that. So I was constantly changing it when actually I liked what I had and I just wanted to maybe upgrade it, which you could do, but it was a bit of a pain. Whereas in this one, they've said they're going to have fewer weapons, fewer pieces of armor, but they're going to make them sort of upgradable, customizable. So each weapon and each piece of armor will be different, which I really like the sound of.
So in terms of other things we're expecting from this game, sometimes you forget with Assassin's Creed games. So obviously, you're playing a simulation, you're playing a video game, and you got the modern worlds happening. In the most recent two games, Origins and Odyssey, it was kind of Layla was the focal of the kind of modern times, along with Victoria and some of the other guys with them. Now, I'm wondering, that's also marks when they first moved into RPGs, and also it's been a bit messy at times. They're not hesitant to do things with the modern day characters like the way that Desmond's arc revolves. I'm wondering if this is going to be like the end of the trilogy that features Layla, or if they're going to move that along significantly.
I think that they have got themselves tied up in a bit of a knot with the modern day stuff. I think at the beginning of the franchise, it was really interesting with the whole Animus and, you know, the whole Templars versus Assassins in modern day, I think was really clever. And then you've got Juno and Minerva and all that. And I think we've kind of moved to a point now where I'm not entirely sure they know what they want to do with that. I'm one of the people that would be quite happy for them to get rid of the modern day stuff because I don't feel like it adds anything any more to the story for me. I know a lot of people do. There are some huge fans of the modern day stuff, but for me, if they dropped it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
whether
mean
you feel the same.
it's a useful tool, and it's useful when there's time jumps. So I remember in Origins, like he grew a lot older, and that was just explained through, oh, it's the Animus. It also allows the game designers to do some slightly fun things. So in Odyssey, there's a statue of one of the rabbits, and she looks at it and goes, "What?" Which is, cute throwaway, but would not have made sense in Odyssey main game. And it was a great way. I loved how they did, oh, here's a spear, there's 2 bits of DNA on it. Who do you want to be? And that worked really nicely for me. So if it's wielded correctly, the modern day stuff isn't too intrusive and it helps it along. I think it would, other games cope without it and you just, expect to die and come back to life. Whereas this, you don't die, you desynchronize. So yeah, I don't mind it. I really don't mind it as long as it doesn't kind of take over too much. And they know that people don't value it as much, so I don't think they dwell on it too
Yeah.
much either.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it being in there. But when, for example, when I was playing Odyssey and I'd be running around absolutely bawling as Cassandra, and then I'd suddenly get pulled out of it and have to go back and play as Layla, that kind of breaks the immersion a bit for me.
I see.
Because,
I quite liked it. It's almost like a punctuation, almost like a
oh,
breather.
really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. So, after all of this and after everything we've seen and we've chatted about, are you hyped for this? Are you excited for this game?
Now, I'm excited for the game, but we can't get away from the fact that this is also going to be an early game on new gen consoles, and we're going to be starting another console war. We also can't ignore the current global situation, and is that going to be pushed back? Is the game going to be pushed back? Are developers going to be able to work from home as effectively? Are they going to rush the game? And I think it's difficult to not look at it in context. We have seen some news about the Xbox X and not as much about the PlayStation 5 apart from the ugly controller. But
That's a
that's
that's a whole other conversation.
oh yeah, which is a whole other conversation. So am I excited for the game? Yeah, get me some Norse mythology. Get me some more Assassin's Creed. It does look fantastic. Will my PlayStation 4 non-pro version play this as well? Do I wait to get it and play it properly? Don't know. Is it going to come out this year? They're still touting it as this year, but realistically, will it happen? And if I do, will it be as good quality if they don't push it back?
I think that's interesting that you said that. I think that it will be. I think personally that it will be delivered on time because they've made the decision to air the release period during
Mm.
the lockdown and everything. So I think they must be confident that they can deliver it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have committed to it. They would have just been starting to build up a bit of hype.
Yeah, it's like 6 months away, right?
Yeah, so I think they'll get it done. It's interesting about the Xbox PlayStation thing. So Xbox have confirmed that it's going to use smart delivery, which is basically if you buy a game on the Xbox One version now, and then later upgrade to the new one when it comes out, the game you buy will upgrade the graphics for free. So
Hmm.
if I buy this game on my normal Xbox One X now, and then I buy the Xbox Series X in the future, when I play it on the Series X, it will automatically upgrade. So as an Xbox owner, um, I feel pretty happy about that. I think that's a really clever.
But wouldn't you want, it's a next gen console. It's going to be the optimal graphics. If that gameplay trailer, if it genuinely does look that good, wouldn't you want your first experience to be at that level rather than knowing you're playing an inferior version just so you don't get the spoilers from the internet or what have you?
No,
Yeah,
no, that
whereas you
doesn't
want to
worry.
get that.
That doesn't worry me at all, because I think we're getting on slightly onto another topic at the minute. But I think that graphics wise, I don't think the next generation of consoles is going to improve upon it that much. From what I've seen, because that gameplay trailer, that was an Xbox Series X, so the new Xbox, that was all built on that, and I didn't see enough of a difference to think, oh well, I've got to wait until I buy the new Xbox to play it. I don't think there's enough of a graphical jump
Mm,
for me to
okay,
delay playing a game that I want to play.
fair enough. Well, fingers crossed we can watch it
Mm,
in holiday 2020. If not, it'll join that long list of games that have been pushed back. And look forward to finding out more about the world of the Vikings.
indeed.
Cool. We'll catch you later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.